All right, it says I'm live. So, welcome. Live from the crossroads of America. Talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience. Either put them in the chat or email me at Rickslifeasiseeit at gmail.com or spottedrick at gmail.com. I am broadcasting on gun channels and YouTube. I have a Patreon page and all that good stuff. The audio files of this show and all previous shows will be on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher. This one will be on within 24 hours of the show ending. If you like what you're hearing, give me a thumbs up or, even subscribe. It all helps. Even somebody gave me a thumbs down the other week. It all counts to YouTube. So it counts as activity. Hey, let's see who's in the room. We got, who do we start off with? Jason Stewart was first in. Then John Brown Productions. Then Blind Shooter jumped in. He's working today, so he won't be on the panel. That's his excuse anyway. Then we got Sean Ponnery. And who else? Oh, Midnight Range has joined us. Sabrina from the Netherlands has joined us. Kevin in New York. Snob's wife is here. So that's pretty good. Yes, Sabrina, I sent you a swag pack in the mail. Mailed it out on Friday morning. I don't know how long it's going to take to get there, but it's on its way. Just wanted to let you know. Anybody else who was a winner this past month, if you haven't received your package, it's on its way. I think I mailed out 2 that I had left to do for this month. They're on their way. Grim 90's here. I haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see you. All right. And right now, I introduce my panel. If he's not working, I've got the Kingpin.
Hey, Rick. Thanks for having me, brother.
No problem. Okay. As everybody's seen on the, it's been talked about on some other shows already, is my headline is Bloomberg is throwing his hat in the ring for to be a Democrat in the run for the presidency under the Democrat ticket. But he's filed in, where was it, Alabama? And he's got to file in Arkansas by Tuesday because that's their filing deadlines. But he hasn't actually officially come out and said he's running yet. So, so let's hopefully, I don't think he's going to get far on his personality, be honest with you. But he has money. He has $52 billion at his disposal to buy people. But then again, see, I don't think people, he's the guy that, didn't he put a thing on sodas in New York, took salt off of dining room tables because he didn't think it was good for you. He knows what's best for us because he is a multimillionaire. Could win. I really don't. Not in a fair fight anyway. Said he might buy it. He might buy the presidency, but he ain't going to win it. So anyway, what do you mean the internet has claimed our host? He's back, sort of. What do you mean? You lost me? I've been here the whole time. Who's been lost? I've been here the whole time, ain't I?
You went robot pretty bad there for a minute.
Oh, I did? That's my good internet for you. I do apologize. You know, as I said, they got internet out here in out here in the boonies is very poor. You know, I looked into getting satellite internet, but the only problem is there's a 5 or 10-second delay in what I'm saying to hearing you and you hearing me and all this stuff. So, oh, okay. It didn't even actually. Oh, okay. People said you didn't see or hear me for a few seconds or whatever. Here, it didn't even show I was gone. So, oh, all right. So, all my whole speech about Bloomberg, I'm not doing it again. So, if you didn't hear it, so Night Strike's joined us.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going.
All right. So I was talking about the Bloomberg throwing his hat in. You know, but I personally myself, on his personality alone, he wouldn't win. But he's got money.
All he's got going for him is that he's got lots of cash, which I mean Trump's got lots of cash too, technically. So it doesn't matter at that point. And believe it or not, he's actually not the most popular. Aside from New York City, as far as I know, the rest of New York hates his ass.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he's not actually that popular elsewhere in the country either. So, if he wants to try and do the popularity contest, good luck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, I was reading another talking about all them delegates that are running for the Democratic ticket. I mean, Joe Biden, I think he's got dementia. I really do. He's losing it.
I'd say everyone on the Democratic side right now that's running are mentally insane. But good luck proving that in court.
Oh yeah, I mean Warren and Bernie are
they've got the courts paid off.
I said Bernie and Sanders are so far left that they ain't gonna. I mean, if one of them got the ticket, they wouldn't win because America's not ready for that yet. As much as mainstream media wants to tell us, Yeah. Oh, Sean says, if you take political leanings aside, you have Trump, real estate magnate who became a billionaire from the ground up, and Bloomberg, media magnate who became a billionaire from the ground up. Yeah, they're two sides of the same coin. Yeah.
But again, have you got into what happened in Virginia yet?
I'm getting there.
It's on the docket then.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that was one of my next topics after Bloomberg and the crowd. And I see Kamala Harris. What I find funny, she goes, people are racist because they're not ready for a black woman to be president. Well, I got to tell you this, Kamala Harris. I don't give a shit because I'm not voting for a Democratic person to be president. I'm voting Republican. So what tells me is you guys are fighting for the Democratic ticket. So it's your own Democratic people who are racist against you. Ain't me.
It's your own people, because Republicans don't vote in the Democratic primaries. In some states, you're not even allowed to vote in the Democrat primaries because you're registered under the other party.
Yeah. But she's saying
some states let both sides vote for both candidates, Republican and Democrat. That's fine in some states, but most other states say, yeah, you can only vote in the Democratic primary if you're a Democrat. You can only vote in the Republican primary if you're a Republican.
Yeah. But that's the way most
she's only a fraction more black than Elizabeth Warren is a fraction of Indian. And a whole lot of a whole lot of like real pro. Hold up. A whole lot of like real pro black people don't consider her to be a black person.
And I have to interject there and argue that I hate to say it, but I think she's more than a fraction than Elizabeth Warren is a fraction of Indian, because I still don't buy it. Even with my full beard, I still have more Indian DNA than she does. I'm telling you right now. Pocahontas.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, I think I think the Democratic Party right now is in pretty bad shape, no matter how the media is projecting them. So there we go. The only thing I would worry about, really, is for some ungodly reason, if Michelle Obama threw her hat in the ring. She would be the one that I'm worried about, because for some reason, women love her.
Okay, let me just stop you right there.
She'd get dusted too.
Stop you right there. I'm going to tell you the reason why she won't throw her hat in. Because the America is not ready for 4 more years of Obama. It doesn't matter whether it's Barack or Michelle. No, America is not ready for 4 more years of Obama. That's why.
Well, but they would vote for her, right? Because people like her. Got nothing to do with their politics. It's the people like her. I mean, look how many copies of that book she sold.
Well, how do we know that they're not going to just turn around and do the same thing they did last time and just seed Hillary Clinton again?
Hey, I know.
She's been talking. She and forgive the crass language, but I have to say it like this because she's been really slaying it lately. She's been saying a lot of shit on Twitter and on social media lately of these Democratic candidates, acting like she's the big dog, that she's gonna be in the next she's gonna announce her candidacy or something later.
Oh yeah. I mean, she would be the only one I'd worry about if she threw her hat in the ring. Be honest with you.
Well, she keeps falling over. I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean, here's Sean says, we've been talking about this for months in our daily chats. The DNC will destroy each other in the primaries. Then Hillary Rodham Clinton comes sweeping in like the common centrist and take the party by storm. Then she would lose again against Trump.
She can't even do that. That's why Bloomberg entered in Alabama, is there's certain time limits on that stuff. You can't just wait till November 7th and say you're running for president.
I
mean, you can, even though if they threw their hat in the ring now, their name wouldn't show up on the Alabama what's the word? Wouldn't show up in the voting thing.
The ballot.
Yeah, that's the word, ballot. But you could handwrite it in.
It's true. You could handwrite it.
So, anyway, moving on. I'm getting tired of talking about them. It just gets me angry.
Wow.
You know. Okay, now next is Virginia. Has gone. Virginia has gone.
They've
blue,
gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
You know, because Bloomberg paid for that. He did, and even the night of the elections, the governor said he was going to do his gun control reforms. You know, he's putting them in January 1st or whatever date their parliament actually restarts in January. That's going to be on the first thing on the agenda is gun control. You know. Now, my question here is there that many Democrats in the northern half of, wouldn't it be of Virginia, that they outnumber all the other Republicans in the state or the gun people in the state? There's that many up there in those big cities?
Well, remember, in situations like this, where there's big cities, the Democrat usually keeps control. It's very rarely does a Democrat get voted out in a large city.
I know, but how did they? But they took the majority because it was Republican, the House and the Senate of the actual state. So what I'm saying is, either they've got more Democrats in that state than they have Republicans now, or Republicans didn't get off their ass and vote. Is the way I mean, I don't know how to think about that, but it's going to be a few years of hell in Virginia there. And what really scary is if they pass these gun laws, it's damn hard to get a gun law off the books once it's on. You know? So, have I lost you guys again?
No, we're still here. You're good. Okay. You're good.
Yeah.
I did some tweaking with GunTube last night, so it should work a little better, a little worse. I don't know. It depends on what happens. I mean, at least you're not going to the red right now.
Yeah.
You seem to be pretty good.
Patrick said, "Yes, Rick. There are. I think you might have said that. You might have meant that many Democrats in Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia has flip-flopped many times in the past. You know. Well,
voting turnout was nobody came out to vote. Only the Democrats came out to vote. Virginia had like one of the worst turnouts out of anybody who had a special election. That's why they got whooped.
Well, you know what that means? Then it's nobody's damn fault in Virginia but their own. If they don't take the time to go out and vote, which is their civic duty, and yes, it is your civic duty to vote, no matter what side, what political affiliation you are, if you don't go out and vote, then you got to suffer the consequences because you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything to the contrary, so suck it up and take it like a man or woman. I'm not racist or prejudiced.
Yeah, E. Honda says, I say re-elect no one.
If only it was that easy.
Oh, yeah.
Only it was
right.
That easy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't, it's that, but then, and what I find strange, which I wish there had been another Republican running for the governor of Kentucky. Right?
Yeah, me too.
Because the Democrat, I mean, the governor that was there and he was rerunning needed to be out of that office. He's a crook, But unfortunately, luckily, Kentucky the Republicans have the majority in the House and the Senate in that state.
So it doesn't matter what the governor wants to do. If he's going to do anything contrary to what's already on the books, then they're going to say no. And they're going to overrule him on every step of the way.
Is a governor allowed to do? Is he allowed to do executive orders like the president?
In state, yes, but that's not to say if he does something shady or if he's trying to, amend laws that are already on the books and have already been voted and signed in. If he's trying to amend that, the Senate or state, the Senate or the House can override that and say no.
Okay.
I've done a little research. I lived in Kentucky for several years, so I know a little bit about it.
All right. E. Honda says, I like your UK Texan accent. Well, I've never been in Texas in my life, but I think you'll find it's a UK Southern accent because the few times I lived in the States when I was growing up as a kid, I lived in the Southern states, like Georgia and stuff like that.
Well, Rick, where's your dad from?
Indiana, where I'm at now.
So your dad was from Indiana?
Oh yeah. I mean, I live maybe 5 miles from where actually my dad was born at.
So this is a shot in the dark. So maybe you picked up your accent from your dad.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, also on and off. I said, come to stay on and off. I also for many years. I went to an American school in England. On a military base.
Right.
And I worked for the U.S. government overseas, so I was around Americans all the time.
Good, you're around your own people.
Yeah, but that's I still have some of that English twang in me. Some of the words, a lot of it's the words I use sometimes.
Well, blame your mom for that.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's how I got my accent. Now, my brother and sister both still live in England. And listening to them talk, you wouldn't even think there was any American blood in them. They sound so British, it's unreal.
Well, then, Rick, all we need to say is traitors. Redcoats. Turncoats. There we go.
Benedict Arnold.
Ooh. That's fighting words right there.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what Sean Connery calls me. Because sometimes I'll get so mad, I'll start going, you people, like talking about I'm different from you Americans.
Rick, you ain't no different. You would like to think you are, but you ain't.
See, I change sides to what suits me. What makes me win the argument, that's the side I take.
You can't pick sides.
Benedict Arnold, Sean says. That's not what he called me. Benedict Arnold.
Benedict Arnold. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway, what else is on the thing here? I mean, besides that, the politics of this whole situation, I wasn't even going to talk about the impeachment joke that's going on. I
don't want to talk about it either because it is a farce. Because they're only putting people that the left wants to hear in there, but any other party affiliation like the Independents, the Libertarians, or even just the straight out Republicans, they don't want to hear anybody that those people want to put up on the stand. So it's basically the core equivalent of a witch hunt.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, unknown user said, I'm still waiting for my pimp gun range video. Yes, but I got an excuse this week. It's goddamn freezing outside right now. We got that cold front come down through here. Yesterday it didn't get above freezing all day, and today it's only just in the mid-30s. It's damn cold. I'm getting old. I feel, my joints can't take it. But I walk around in short sleeve shirts when I'm out and stuff. I just wear one of
Ask
those.
the chat.
I just wear one of those. He's carrying a gun vests on, and a short sleeve shirt underneath it.
Ask the chat about the 380 and 9mm casing.
Oh yeah, I did type it in there, but I'll ask him this way: is 9mm? Does 380 use the same? What's the word I'm looking for? The same brass as a 9mm. Does anybody in the chat know? Is it the same brass? If I'm buying brass for 380, are you buying it for 380/9mm? I know you just said it was too hot last week, and now it's too cold this week, blah, blah, blah. I will get it done, I know. I'm just being lazy, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, New York Outcast, my pimp gun, my Smith & Wesson Performance Center 380 with the gold barrel, trigger, and grip safety in gold. It looks pimping. Ohio 45 says same diameter, only shorter. Oh, so the 380 brass is actually shorter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you really do want to be using 9 because I don't think 380 could handle the pressure that 9mm usually has if we're reloading.
Yeah, so I mean, what I'm saying is, if it's a taller brass, it's not going to feed right anyway, is it?
Not in 380, no.
Yeah. Patrick says don't mix the two brasses.
You really shouldn't.
Okay, I wasn't sure. That's why I was asking. All right, because I've got some 380 brass from what I've shot, but I'm going to have to buy some extra brass to get started. Unless anybody's got any 380 brass out there they want to mail me, I'll take it.
I might have some.
So.
I don't even have a 380. I have 380 brass. Don't ask why.
Yeah, that 380 is a nice shooting gun. It really is. I like it. And honestly, my M&P 45 full size that I've been carrying since I started in this gun world is in the old. It's cleaned up and it's sitting in the gun safe now, the gun cabinet.
Uh-oh.
It's being relegated to the gun cabinet. So I'll take it out from time to time to shoot it, but otherwise it's a 380. Could you trim the 9mm down to 380 size?
You probably could.
I'm saying, you could. Because what Midnight Range is saying, in a shit hits the fan situation, you could do that, I guess.
You could. That's supposing if the the rimless part of the 9mm is the same as the rimless part of the 380.
Yeah. Well, I got to go to the gun store tomorrow. I got to buy some powder because for my 45, I normally use oh shit, the name it was on top of my tongue just a second ago. Bullseye, that's it. I normally use Bullseye, but I was looking. Where is it? I got it right here. I was looking at this thing the other day with Tony, and basically Bullseye powder is not very good for 380.
Right.
So, but eventually I'm going to be loading 380, 45 ACP, 38 special, and 9mm. So those four things, and going through it all, Hodgson, is that how you pronounce it? Hodgson CFE powder can be used in all four of those without any problem. So I'm going to go buy some of that tomorrow. Then I got to buy small primers for the 380. So I said I got the dies. So and I said I do have a little bit of brass, and of course I got my Lee Defense Extreme Defenders. Is that what they're called? Extreme Defense bullets. It looks like a Phillips screwdriver. You know?
Right.
This is my defense ammo. But it's only 65 grains. Now, trying to find a 65, I didn't want to use those because I was looking for something cheaper to use for range, for plinking at the range. But the lightest I could find is 95 grain. I can't find a 65 grain on anything else for 380.
Isn't 380 kind of expensive too? Like just to buy factory loads?
Do what?
Well, it depends on what brand you get. I mean,
well, just in general, doesn't 380 usually cost a little bit more than like your standard, run of the mill, off the shelf 9mm?
Yeah. But I'm just reloading it just for the therapeutic value of doing it.
The guys out in the chat do make a point where if you take the 9mm, even if you cut it down to 380 length, the issue is you're going to have problems because the head stamp is still going to say 9mm, and unless you do something to the head stamp, and even then, if you do that, who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, true.
So I hate to say this, but they do make valid points there. You may just want to see if you can buy a bulk package of 380 brass and just reload that till you have to replace it.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons that I mentioned it is I've got a 5-gallon bucket full of 9mm brass, and if Rick could use it for his 380, I was going to send it to him, but I don't know anything about reloading.
In an SHTF situation, yeah, you'll need to basically do whatever you can to get the 9mm down to 380 if that's all you got.
Yeah.
But again, I would argue that in an SHTF situation, you'd rather want to have 9mm than 380. You'd want to use a 9mm over a 380 in an SHTF situation in general is what I was getting at. So, but again, I understand you're just trying to reload the stuff to use it in one of your guns.
Yeah. New York Outcasts, I bet he hasn't heard the song I'm talking about. He's talking about me singing something. No, I guess I haven't. Unknown user said, I stopped carrying 380 because it was so expensive to train with for what it is.
There you go.
Oh.
Maybe you want to stick with 9mm or go back to 45.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm going to go with 90 grain. I'm not going to find a 65 grain like the Extreme. Hang on, let me have a look. It does. It says here it's 65 grain, 65 GR, Extreme Defense.
I mean, we got another comment out there from Sean saying nobody in their right mind that is unarmed is going to talk back to someone pointing a 9 or a 380 at them. That's precisely true. But again, I would recommend the 9 over the 380 just because the 9 has a little bit more power. Not by much, but a little bit more.
Well, plus in general, I mean, if we're talking about zombies coming down the street, your 9mm, pretty much every one of your guns is going to come standard with a higher capacity magazine than a 380.
Yeah. I mean, because like mine, mine's 8+1. So.
Yeah. And Kevin makes another good point. In an SHTF situation, you're going to be able to find 9mm out anywhere than you would 380 because 380 is it's not scarce, but it is common, but it's not as common as 9mm these days.
Yeah, but now what's called talking about what Sean said, facing somebody with a 380. Now using those extreme penetrators or whatever they are from Lee Defense. Here you go. It's does it say it on here?
Sure.
Yeah, it's going to be traveling at 1,100 feet per second. Is that what it means? Velocity?
FPS?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
1155.
That's pretty good.
You know?
Yeah, that's how fast it's going, yeah.
You know, so that's it's pretty fast stuff. And from what I understand, that and because it's like a Phillips screwdriver, when it hits you, it opens up like a what you call it, hollow point. From what I understand. So, yeah. Hey, Honda says use a 22 short for self-defense is what I always say. I tell you what, I still haven't seen anybody willing to stand in front of me while I shoot them with a 22. You know? I mean, you might not kill them, but you're going to get their attention if you shoot them enough with it.
Actually, you probably could kill them with a 22.
Oh, I mean...
Sure. For the longest time, the most "quote unquote" deadly round in the country was the 22. Now I understand that that's because a bunch of gangbangers got 22s and shooting each other with it, but still, 22 will kill you dead.
It still is. It's just it's not the standard 22. It's the 5.56 or the 2.23 now.
Yeah.
Which those are still 223. It's still 222, but they just add an extra number on the end there to make it sound hit.
Yeah, what's called the
still a glorified 22.
Yeah, but 22 is, if you look, it still kills more people per year around the world than any other caliber.
It's cheap.
Okay, unknown user said I carried 380 for many years because they were the best for pocket carry. But the new subcompact 9mm are almost as small and more powerful and cheaper to shoot. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but as who was it? Ohio 45 said that reloading 380 makes it cheaper than buying it off the shelf. So, and I like reloading. I sit here, and I find it very relaxing.
Well, Rick, you just got to figure, just there are a lot of places online where you can buy the brass, for 380, and I would just recommend just do some shopping around. Look to find the place that has the best, bulk price for brass.
Yeah,
just get it.
Yeah,
or there are even some places online where you can buy some like once used brass. Even then, that'd be just as good.
Do they do Black Friday sales and holiday sales and stuff like that for ammunition? I haven't been in it long enough to know, so I don't know.
For ammo, not so much, but for reloading supplies, like if you're talking like Natchez or some other places online, they will do they will have some deals for some holiday deals. Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily Black Friday or it's more so Christmas sales and or whatever insert holiday here sales.
Yeah, Ohio.
I know Brownells does it sometimes. I do know that Midway USA does it sometimes, and Natchez does it.
Yeah. Ohio 45 says, wait till the Black Friday sales. Reloading bullets are always on sale.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's what I'm going to do. So, all right. Ozzy Osborne said, I carry Underwood Extreme Defender in 380. 1,300 FPS. So there you go, see. You know.
I mean, hey, don't argue with Aussie.
He just midnight. Ohio 45 and Midnight Rain said use Everglades for some ammo. They have 88 to 100 grain bullets. Oh, that's good. 80. If I can get it low, like 88, get it close to the same weight as my defense ammo when I'm training, that'd work. Yeah, that'll work. So I have to check them out.
Yeah.
So there we go. Yeah. Oh, another thing too. I got an email the other day. I'll give credit to the ATF. They sent me an email and said your CNR license was returned to sender. Is your address right on it? And they had a PDF file of it. So I opened it up, and it had my old address in Rhode Island on it. Now, when I done the renewal form, I had even called them up and spoke to somebody and asked them. On the renewal form, it says, if you have moved and have a change of address, fill in this box. And I filled in that box, right? So I wrote back to him and said, I did. I filled in the box on the form that says I changed address. He emailed me back and apologized. He said it was overlooked. We do apologize. We'll have it rectified, and we'll email it to you this afternoon. And it came with my. So give them credit. They done what they said they were going to do. So I got my CNR license. So I'm back in business.
So Rick, does that mean you're going to start collecting like maybe some of these surplus rifles that they're for CNR that go on sale?
If I have the money, yeah, that's what I got it for. But then for a little while there, when I was slowly sinking in Rhode Island before I moved here to Indiana and dug myself out of my little hole. Now that I'm not totally out of the hole, and plus my landlord's put my rent up a little, but I do have some free cash. So yes, hopefully I will be buying some of those. I got my P64 I bought with my CNR license.
Because I hate to mention this because I know you're not looking for anything right now, but the thing is, I've been seeing some deals on like some Yugo, Mausers and whatnot for like $299.
Oh yeah, see, I can afford stuff like that. Yeah.
Granted, they may just need a bit of cleaning up, maybe some oil, but that's nothing you can't sit and watch and do while you're watching TV or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like my P64, I bought it, and what I loved about it, it was delivered right to my front door.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to an FFL pick it up because I am the CNR FFL.
Well, that's also I haven't gotten anything yet, and I'm probably not going to get one for a long while. But I did join a CMP affiliated club. So,
oh yeah.
If I want to, not that I can right now, but eventually down the line, I probably will. But right now, not so much. Yeah. I can order a Garand from the CMP and have it shipped straight to my door.
That's good. Yeah, okay.
Because you can do mail order, and when you do mail order, you just send them a copy of your CWP and your club membership, and you fill out the paperwork, send it in to them, and make sure you pay them too, and they send you a rifle to your door.
Yeah. But I'm going to start looking into that stuff again.
You can only do that with the CMP.
They screwed up. Don't give them too much credit. The ATF is talking about. Well, yes, they did screw up. Well, what I was praising them on was how fast after I emailed them that they came back with the correct one. They done it all within 2 hours.
You were surprised by the response time.
Yes, that's what I was talking about more than anything else.
Oh, okay. Well, let me ask you this: since you lived in England, did you ever have to deal with the government there?
No, not really.
Okay, so you never had to call them for anything or ask them any questions then?
Oh, only one time, and that's when I was. Cut a long story short, when I first hired on as a federal employee, when you're sent, if you're in the military and you're sent overseas, right? When you go, you're allowed to buy and shop on base. At the PX, the commissary, the classic store, that's where you buy your booze and beer and stuff.
Right.
That's automatic if you're in the military. A federal employee, if you're sent here from the States overseas, you get that same privilege. Right?
But you were already living there, though.
Yes, I was already living there, and they denied me. Right?
What?
And I said, that ain't fair. I said I was still in school when my father retired over here. So I had no choice in the matter where I was living. Right? So they said, believe it or not, I made them stop and think. But then they came back with, well, you are part British because you were born here. So the only time I dealt with the government was I had to tell the government that I wouldn't. I told the British government that I wouldn't use the British government in anything anymore. Like say if I'm in trouble overseas and I say I need to see somebody from the British consulate, I wasn't allowed to do that anymore, they said. So I said, okay, no problem. But they said anytime you want to, you just call us back up, fill out this form, and you get all your stuff back like you had before, that you could do that. But I've never used it anyway, ever. So it's no biggie to me.
Yeah, the American benefits are better.
Yeah, the only time I use my British stuff is I'm a citizen now or a subject. I can't remember which one it is.
You're a subject when it comes to England.
Because I have a British birth certificate, so they have to let me into the country.
They don't have to let you. They don't have to do anything. They choose to let you into the country.
Well, with my British passport, with my British birth certificate, they got to because I'm British. But because a lot of times, what used to happen in the old days, when you come off the airplane in England, there would be this big giant line with all these British people trying to get through customs back in. Then anybody with a foreign passport like me would have to go way down the other end of the hall. And that's where I would walk. And they would always say, back in the old days, you used to have a visa to go to England.
Yeah.
Right? And they would say, where's your visa? You can't come back in here without a visa. And I would pull out my British. I always carried my British birth certificate with my passport. And I would pull that out and said, oh, yes, I don't need one. I'm British. Right? And so they used to let me through. So that's the only time I've ever used it. All right. Rick's a double agent, Jason says.
The Queen has him collecting heads.
Yeah.
Rob says.
All right. Real quick, I forgot. Last week's quiz, I think I had 7 or 8 people enter. And the question was, in the 1896 championship boxing match, Sharkey Fitzsimmons, I asked who the referee was and what was the outcome. The referee was Wild Earp, and he ruled that I'm trying to think who it was. Every time boxing between boxers, Sharkey was awarded after Fitzsimmons knocked Sharkey to the mat. The judge ruled the match would. Hang on. Anyway, I can't remember which one was which now. I haven't written it down correctly. So, but anyway, hang on. Let me have a look. Hang on, let me back up and regroup here. Give you the correct answer. Tom Sharkey was awarded the championship but the controversy was that Fitzsimmons knocked Sharkey to the mat. It was an illegal hit or something while he was down or below the belt. But then they took it to court, and the judge says it's an illegal match because you weren't allowed to have a professional boxing inside the city limits or something like that. And so that's what what that was all about. So they got it right. So plus, anyway, they were. There was something here too. Yeah. Oh, because the prize money was $10,000. So it was I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff I read about it, but I didn't put it all down here. But there we go. But anyway, so that was the outcome of that question. And here's my random picker. Let me see who won it.
$10,000 back in those days was quite a lot.
Yeah. All right. The winner is Richard White. Rich has won the prize.
That guy again?
Yeah, Rich has been on a roll lately.
No, he's been winning a lot. Should I hit the button again and choose somebody else?
It's up to you.
No, I'm not. No, so Rich White's the winner. Let me write that down. I don't know if he's in the chat today or not. I don't think I've seen him.
I haven't seen him either.
Yeah, so let me write that down. Rich White is the winner. Okay, now for this week's quiz, while I'm on a roll here, this is a good one. It's an easy question and good prizes. So I've got this hook and brush set, 4-piece stainless steel hooks, 1 nylon utility brush, brass brush, a 1 lens scope brush in this nifty little case here. Plus, I got stickers in here, all kinds of stickers in here. I think there's even a patch in here too, I believe.
Oh my.
I just grab handfuls of stuff and throw it in here.
Sounds like it.
Here's the patch I got. I can feel it. I didn't want to tip this all out over the table here because half the time it falls all over the floor. A classic firearms patch. That's what it is. Of course, you got my sticker in there, and you got a whole bunch of. You got the Lyman's. You got the "Don't Tread on Me" sticker. All this kind of good stuff in there. And so that is the prize for this week. Now, you guys are going to have to help me out here on pronunciations. I'll spell them to you. This week's question. It's got to do with the TV show SEAL Team. So, right? The dog. Is it Cerberus? Cerberus.
Cerberus.
Yes. Right? That's the name of the dog. Right? But what I want to know, what is so special about that dog? There you go. That's the question. It's real simple. I should have said what is the name of the dog and what's special about it, but that would have made it a little bit harder. But what I want to know is what is special about that dog. That's it. That's the question. And there is something special about it. That's a write-in. So email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. So there you go. I want to know what's special about that dog on SEAL Team. So there you go. I'll make you look, won't it? So that's to get your minds thinking. Just click on Google and it'll come up with the answer more than likely. Patrick says the dog carries a Glock 7 9mm. All right. Okay. Anything else, guys? Oh, also while I'm doing all this silly stuff, I don't think he's here today. But last week or Wednesday, Squibload asked me about a ranch steak. Well, I looked it up to make sure it was the same thing that I thought that I would sell as a ranch steak, and it is. Some people call it a rancher steak. I used to call it a ranch steak, and actually, basically, what it is a boneless shoulder steak. It's basically what it is, right? Now it can be. I mean, shoulder is pretty. It's fairly tender. It's not going to be as tender as a sirloin steak or a T-bone or something like that. But for a piece of meat that comes off the forequarter, it's not bad. But what you do, you only cut it an inch thick at the most. And the best way to cook it is, as I mentioned this once before, like with the chuck steaks, I mentioned this last week, is you marinate it overnight in something. One recipe I saw was marinate it in red wine overnight. But basically, you want to marinate it in something that's going to has an acidy component to it, and that breaks up the fibers. Put it overnight. Put your salt and pepper, what it seasons on it, whatever you want to put. Throw it on a very hot grill. 3 to 4 minutes one side. Flip it over. 3 to 4 minutes the other side. Pull it off, and eat to your heart's content. It's not gonna melt in your mouth like filet mignon, but it will cut nice, and it has plenty of flavor. It's not gonna be chewing it like eating shoe leather. It's palatable. It's not bad actually. So that's the cut of the week for this week. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Nothing from Midnight Range on that. He normally pipes in with some of his cooking stuff on me. He ain't done anything this time. But okay, so that is that's the cut of the week. So if you see Squib, you can tell him I done it. Just listen to the show, and it will tell him what it is. What else was I going to talk about? I think we about covered it all, really. It's a shame we don't have Tony in here anymore. He can waffle on like nobody can.
Yeah, but it's generally about revolvers and lever actions.
Yes. That's actually, I've got a lever action. I haven't. A Honda 70. Actually, it's almost like a London Brawl. It is. Basically, it's a shoulder London Brawl. Almost, because I like cutting. Personally, myself, I like cutting London Broils from the hind quarter, from the top round. Personally, myself.
Now, do they still call them London Broils in London, or do they just call them broils?
Well, London Broils, that's an American thing. That's not even a British cut.
Oh, what do they call the same cut in Britain?
They don't have that cut in Britain.
Really?
Yeah. Because the actual piece of meat for like the ranch steak that you would cut into a shoulder London Broil or whatever, is that piece of meat is actually sold as a roast in England.
Okay.
And so I said it's not even saying and top round, and I said I used to cut my London Broils out of top round. Now, top round in England is sold as top side, and it's sold as a roast. Right. You split it down the center into two halves, and you have what they call a corner cut top side and a regular top side. So it's sold as roast beef mainly. So no, they don't have a London Broil in England. But it's not a British cut, because I learned to cut. I learned to cut English style before I learned how to cut American. I went into the meat business as soon as I got out of school, and I went through an apprenticeship program with a British butcher shop, and Actually, I got all the way. I had a little apprentice thing. I had to go to this thing, and I got a little certificate. I don't even know whatever happened to it. Over the years, it got lost somewhere. But I had a certificate saying I was a qualified butcher. And actually, I was allowed to call myself Master Butcher. So then I went to work for the U.S. government, and I learned to cut American style. So there you go. And I learned how to cut. I said when I went to work for the U.S. government, I went to work in a commissary, a brand spanking new commissary that was built at an RAF base up in the Cotswolds near Swindon. It was called RAF Fairford. And it was the longest runway that the American military had. And they still have it today. It's where the big old bombers. I mean, when they would do an air show every year, and they would have the flying fortresses fly in there. It was the only one runway that could handle them. So they would go in there. And way back when, I think it's back in the 80s now. I think it was the 80s when the NASA, what you call it, when they hooked it on the back of that jumbo airplane, what the hell was the name of it? The thing they used to shoot up into space. Help me out here, guys.
What?
Well, the thing that they used to fly around in space, and they would land it back on the runway.
The shuttle?
Yes, the shuttle.
The space shuttle?
Yeah, the space shuttle. When they done a world tour when it was strapped on the back of a 747.
Yeah.
Right? That runway in Fairford was the only runway in England that could handle it because it needed such a long runway to land and take off. So, I mean, that's what that base was when I was there. So, anyway, that's where I learned to cut American meat. That way, the actual manager of that meat department knew his shit, and he taught me, and I was a quick learner. So, there we go. So, that's a little bit of another history about me. And actually, the day I started with the government was February the 4th, 1982. It's when I first started working for the U.S. government. The only reason I remember the date is because my son was born on February the 6th. 2 days after I started that new job. So, yeah. Bring back memories,
Memories.
Hell. All right, we got anything else to talk about? Anybody?
Ihana's is saying, you learned how to cut meat on the space shuttle for the government.
Yes. Basically, that's it. That's it.
It's the Apollo program.
Yes. Well, when it was flying around the world on the back of the 747, it landed at that particular military base I was working at. That's all I was saying. The only reason I know that because I happened to be there the day it landed, and I happened to see it. It's pretty cool, really. You don't realize how big that son of a bitch was sitting on the back of that airplane. It's amazing it actually took off and could fly.
Do you remember which shuttle that was?
No, I don't. But, it's amazing. You wouldn't be surprised the amount of shit I've seen. Can't remember even half of it.
Well, that's not good.
Oh, yeah. I got some great drinking stories one day I'll have to tell you all. Back in the day when I used to drink. I used to get into some real humdinger situations.
I believe it.
I remember one time a bunch of us, I was about 18. How old was I? No, it was 19 or 20. About 8. How many was there of us? There was 10 of us. There was 10 guys. No.
Hey, my phones are getting ready to die, Rick, so I gotta go.
All right. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Have a good day, everybody. See you later.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Here, quick story. There was 10 of us. I think it was 5 or 6 guys and the 4 girls or something like that. We rented a barge on the Leeds to Liverpool Canal. It's a narrow boat. I don't know if you ever seen them on British TV shows. They're about, 60 foot long, 60 to 80 feet long. And people used to transport stuff on the canals, but people turn these into boats, people, with cabins in them. And you sail down the canals and you go through the locks and everything else. Well, in Shipley, in Yorkshire, it's famous. It has, I think it's 6 locks that take you up this steep hill. And how you do it is you open the bottom holes first to flood in the water till it gets level with the top ones, and you open the top ones. That's them. Yep, that's it. Rented one of those. Well, we were so drunk one day. We're in the bottom lock. And me and my friend, it was our turn to open them up. And we're so drunk, we're laughing and joking, and we weren't paying attention. We opened the top ones first. And the water literally poured into the top of that, the front of that barge there, and filled the whole thing up with water, and the damn thing sunk in the lock. The fire department had to come out and pump it out and everything else. We lost our deposit on that trip. There. But there we go. Just one of my little stories. Oh, yeah, unknown user says, can't remember what he did sober, but can tell drinking stories like it was yesterday. Oh, what happened? What happened there? I lost myself. There we are. There I am. Okay. I've lost my chat now. Okay. So I was undercover on holiday for the Queen. Yeah. Actually, talking about the Queen, back in the day. Now, don't forget, the Queen has a tea party on her birthday every summer. A couple of thousand people are invited to it, but you have to be invited. You get an invitation from Buckingham Palace inviting you to it. Now, I was never invited to it. Where I was going with this is my grandmother used to get invited to it every year. So what in the hell she did to get the invite, I never knew. But I got a feeling it had something to do with something that she did during the Second World War for the country. I think that's how she got on the list. Be honest with you. I really don't know. So that's another bit of thing there for you. All right. I'm going to call it quit because all I'm doing is rambling now. Not talking about anything in particular.
Oh, I was muted the whole time. What the hell?
Do what?
I was muted the whole time. I was saying stuff. So sorry.
I didn't hear a word you said.
No, you didn't. And I forgot what I said. So I guess you're gonna have to end this. But yeah, Rick, you served Queen and country, and now you serve the United States.
Yeah. Yeah. I said I never worked for the British government. So
officially.
Yeah, officially. But I could be MI6. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
I could be the CIA too.
I don't know, Rick. I don't know. CIA might be stretching. I can see MI6, but not CIA.
Kevin in New York says, tell another drinking story. Okay, here's one for you. It was around the same time frame. We went drinking in Windsor.
Oh God.
Now this is where the castle is.
Yeah.
And
the castle
the Scots Guards, they're the ones that wear the big furry hats that stand outside Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle, and the red coat and the big black hat and stuff. You know, you can walk up to them and laugh at them and yell at them and everything else, and they just stand there and don't do a thing. They look straight ahead. They can't do anything. But if you touch one, he is allowed to retaliate. 9 times out of 10, he'll put you on the ground. But you didn't touch them. But anyway, where I'm going with this is their barracks were there in Windsor too. And I had a friend. He was, I mean, I'm a big old boy, even back then when I was younger. But I had a friend, he was only about 5 foot nothing, if he was even that tall. And we were in this pub drinking, and we were getting fairly hammered. And he sat on the bar stool. But when he sat on the bar stool, his feet didn't touch the bottom of the thing. And these bar stools are ones that would spin around. So,
yeah.
What happened was we were drinking, getting loud, and these young guys were in the corner getting louder, right? And my friend mouthed off to him about something. One of them came up to get some more drinks, and my friend mouthed off at him. And this guy grabbed hold of my friend and took him and spat him on the stool where he spat around. Right? Well, my friend, because he was drunk, he jumped off the thing and took a swing at this guy. So he's my friend. So, you know, you got to jump in to help him. Well, I got my ass whipped. I landed up in the hospital with stitches in my eye here. My glasses were broken. I had a boot print on my chest. I mean, I was drunk as a skunk. I don't even remember. It's amazing I would have lost anyway, even though I think if I was sober. But that's the kind of shit I used to get up to when I was drinking. So. Yeah. So that's the kind of stories. I got tons of stories like that. What I used to do, you know. But even when I've told this story before too. When I worked for the U.S. government, I was working at a little base called RAF Wethersfield. Now this was over in we're over in East Anglia, near Ipswich, that sort of area of England. And we were doing hanging beef. So you have a lot of waste, you know, bone, fat, gristle, and everything else. And you throw them in these big, you know, plastic round trash cans. What are they, 60-gallon trash cans or something? They're big. Anyway, what we used to do, we cut us a piece of wood and put rope handles on it, filled the bottom of it with ice and beer, and we put this piece of wood in there. Then we would throw fat and stuff on top of it. So if any supervisor opened the cooler up and had a look inside, he would see, oh, there's a barrel of just a scrap there. Of course, when when the scrap man came to pick it all up, we made sure, you know, we emptied that out and he didn't see the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so we used to have that. So when we wanted a beer, we just go in there, pull the ropes up, lift it up, grab a beer, put it back down on there. I even used to drink when I worked. My drinking was that bad. I even used to drink when I was working for the U.S. government. So there we go. Another one of my wild, crazy stories.
Oh, man.
You know? Doozy. Oh, yeah. We used to do all kinds of crazy shit like that. But anyway, I'm calling it a day because I've made myself hungry.
All right.
And I'm going to – it's about 35 degrees outside, but I think I'm going to throw some burgers on the grill. What I'll do is I'll throw them on the grill, come back in for a couple of minutes, go back out, flip them, come back in again, you know. So, I don't know, because I'm wearing shorts today, so I don't know if I want to stand out there while I'm cooking them.
All right.
Oh, New York Outcast said, You just killed it for the guy still working, Rick. Way to go. Oh, my secret beer barrel? Yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah.
Oh, well. The gig's up. You know. All right, guys. You got any plugs or shout-outs, Night Strike?
No, I'm good today.
All right. Okay, guys. I'll be back on Wednesday shooting with disabilities. I'm not sure if it's going to be about shooting with disabilities because I'm running out of topics. Unless you guys out there got questions you want me to ask the panel or anything else like that. If you got any questions or anything you want for this show, too, email me. Same address, Rickslifeasiseeit at gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Any help you can give me, I would appreciate it. You know? So, I don't want to change the format of the Wednesday show, but I said I'm running out of topics on the disability side. I've sent emails to a couple of people that I've seen on YouTube, seeing if they wanted to come on, but they never responded to me. So I don't know. So if you guys got anything you want to talk about on the disability side with firearms, doesn't necessarily have to be with firearms, archery, even down to fishing or anything. Sports related, let's put it that way. Send it to me. We'll talk about it.
Rick is branching out.
Yes. Like I'm branching out on this show with the cut of the week and all that kind of good stuff, you know.
But that's stuff nobody else does on their shows. So you've cornered the market. I mean, yeah. Midnight Rage talks about cooking the food, but no one's ever talked about the best the best cut of meat. You know, you got the market cornered there as with Butcher Experience.
Yeah, to a certain point. Yeah, I do. I guess.
So,
you know. All right. So I'm calling it quits. So I want to thank everybody for being here on this Saturday afternoon. I appreciate it when you all could be somewhere else, but you're here with me, listening to me, which I really do appreciate. It makes it worthwhile. Sometimes I don't think it, why does anybody want to listen to me? But you're all here, so I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I will see you all next Saturday at 3 p.m. or catch me Wednesday at 7 p.m. with Rick's Life as I See It, shooting with disabilities. So long, everybody.
Bye.